One evening, I was sitting with my grandfather on the porch. The sun was setting, and he turned to me and asked, "Son, if you are only earning money but never growing it, do you really think your life will ever change?" I went quiet, because the truth was, every month I was earning, but at the end of that month, the same zero balance stared back at me. Grandfather said softly, "The truth is bitter, but listen carefully. No one becomes rich by earning money. People become rich by growing it." I asked him, "Grandpa, what does growing money actually mean?" He said, "Most people spend their entire lives selling their time. They work, money comes in, and then it disappears. But some people build systems where their money works for them, even when they are resting. And that is the difference between an ordinary person and a wealthy one." Those words stayed with me because for the first time I felt that maybe the problem wasn't my income, maybe it was my thinking. Then Grandfather asked me a question that stopped me cold. "If your income stopped today, how many days could you survive?" I thought about it, and honestly, the answer made me uncomfortable. He said, "You are not free, son. You are stuck on a bicycle, pedaling every day. Money comes in, money goes out, and this cycle will keep repeating until you decide to break it." Grandfather always said that time watches everything. Every single day, it is quietly noting what you do with your money. And your future is being built from those choices, whether you realize it or not. I was listening carefully now because I could feel every word landing somewhere deep. He said, "You are working hard, but do you know why nothing is left at the end of the month? Because you know how to make money, but you don't know how to make money from money." I asked, "Grandpa, how does that actually work? How do you make money from money?" He said, "Money doesn't grow through hard work alone, son. It grows through systems, through discipline, through patience, and it grows the most when you put it back to work again and again." Then he said something I still think about to this day. "If hard work alone created wealth, every laborer in the world would be a millionaire. But that is not how it works. Hard work gives you income, but systems give you wealth." I was beginning to understand the real game. Grandfather continued, "And here's another truth most people never see. The biggest trap of the middle class is not their income, it is their mindset. From childhood, we are taught to study, get a job, stay safe, but no one ever teaches us how to grow money." I had never thought about it that way before. He said quietly, "We sell tomorrow's freedom for today's comfort, and that one habit keeps a person ordinary their entire life." I was ready now. I wanted to understand how to break this cycle. Grandfather looked at me and said, "Let me show you something simple. 2 boys, same salary, same city, but a few years later, their lives look very different." I asked, "How, Grandpa?" He said, "The first boy, the moment his salary arrives, his expenses rise with it. New phone, new clothes, travel, a little showing off. From the outside, it looks like he's moving forward, but he's actually walking deeper into a trap he cannot even see." I asked, "What trap?" Grandfather said, "The lifestyle trap. The more income grows, the more expenses grow. Slowly he gets buried under EMIs and pressure, and the most dangerous part, he doesn't even realize it's happening." I was starting to see how common this mistake really was. "Now look at the second boy," grandfather said. "Same salary, but a different way of thinking. He makes one decision. No matter what happens, every month he will set aside a portion and make it work for him." I asked, "You mean saving?" Grandfather shook his head. "Not just saving, son. Saving keeps money safe. Investing makes money grow. That is the difference between ordinary thinking and wise thinking." He continued, "This boy puts his money somewhere it can earn returns. In the beginning it feels very small, almost nothing, but slowly, quietly, it begins to build." He said, "Nothing dramatic happens in the first year, not much in the second either. Growth stays slow even in the third year, and this, right here, is where the real game begins." Grandfather said, "Money is like a seed. You plant it in the ground, and it does not become a tree overnight. First, the roots grow deep and strong, quietly, invisibly, and then slowly it rises, and one day that same small seed becomes a tree that gives fruit season after season." I finally understood. Money grows slowly. It takes time, and that patience is the whole point. Grandfather said, after 5 years, that boy's money started making money on its own. After 10 years, his investments were earning as much as his salary. And one day came when he no longer needed to work. He worked because he wanted to, not because he had to. And that is the difference between compulsion and freedom. He said, "This is how money works. In the beginning, you work for money, but after a certain point, money starts working for you, and that is the real turning point." Then grandfather added one final truth. The human mind wants instant results. It does not like waiting, and that is why most people lose this game, because investing is slow, quiet, and invisible, but spending is fast, exciting, and feels good in the moment. One builds your future, the other borrows from it. I now knew clearly where the real difference is made. Grandfather looked at me one last time and said, "Learn to control your money, and you will control your choices. Control your choices, and you will control your life." If this conversation with grandfather changed something in your thinking, write in the comments, "I'm ready to grow," and subscribe to the channel because the next video goes even deeper.